How you doing, everyone? It is the Get Loud Podcast with Jinx and Smoot, presented by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Smoot, do you want to start with the good or the bad?
The ugly? Anything you want to. Like, I'm one of those people, it don't matter when the
Okay.
news come, just give it to me.
All right, I'm going to give it to you. Let's start with the bad because this was a frustrating loss. I mean, really frustrating.
I got a title for it.
What?
Stopless in Seattle.
Oh, that's exactly
That's deep.
because we couldn't stop anybody.
We couldn't stop a nosebleed. Like, at the end of the day, it was one of those things where offense, we need you. Okay, I'm there. Offense, we need you. Okay, I'm there. Defense, we need one stop. Can't give it to you. Stopless in Seattle. Geno Smith was kind of sporadic during the day. Made big plays, didn't make plays. Defense showed up in a couple of spots. But then it came down to the man-to-man, a mano-a-mano, Benjamin St. Juice, DK Metcalf, 3 out of 3 plays. Can you stop me once?
Yep.
And there go the thing about DBs. We are challenged at certain points of the game. This the difference between being a good DB, a great DB, and an okay DB. All right? The good DB at one point going to make 1 out of the 3 plays.
Yeah.
All right? And that's what you have to do. And preferably, you make that play on third down. The money down.
Yeah.
Get paid in this league. Third down is the money down for quarterbacks, wide receiver, D linemen, cornerbacks.
You make such a good point because actually up until that point, he was having a pretty good game and then just lost his mind on a series.
Yeah, and when that lost his mind, didn't keep his composure. See, I'm going the opposite way of you.
Yeah.
Like here go the thing about it. Football is organized chaos. And the great players, when that chaos is going down, it slows down like the Matrix. Like I would be at the corner like Neo. I'd just be over there like, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on the play, and it's happening in slow motion, and people don't understand it. As a corner, these 10th of a second happen. They happen, they move, then they explode at the end of it. And it's nothing more humiliating, humbling than as you running as a DB and you look back and the ball is coming. You look at the wide receiver, he running. If you can read his last name, you're probably behind him. If you can read the car tag on that car, you're probably behind that car. And just to see that pass completed. And then it go from your heart drop to explosion of fans.
Yeah.
Like cheering for this dude. And now you look over here, he doing the robot, he is getting it in, and you just looking. And then it's that long walk back to the sideline. You got to walk past the defense first, and they looking at you like, damn, you stink. Then you get back, your coaches, they giving you that eye. Then you sit on the bench, and you notice nobody will sit around you because the camera's coming to say, you know what?
And nobody wants to be
Jerry
there.
Rice just beat Fred. and now I got to sit over here alone. It's the walk of shame.
Yeah.
It's a walk of shame. And as a DB, it's no worse time to have that walk of shame than the last play of the game.
And then they cut away to you on the sidelines, you're alone, and the announcer says something like, and Fred Smoot's going to think about this one for a while.
Yes, you know what? And then I turn around and walk off the field slow motion. Now, fast forward, you get home on the plane ride. I just want to go to the grocery store. Now you go to the grocery store, and Gertrude, the 75-year-old lady in the Vespa aisle, she's like, Fred, what happened? What happened? I just came to get some collard greens so I can go home. No, what happened? So it's never over. And then you walk into your house and you turn on TV and ESPN, and now you on He Got Moss. And you like, so you can't run from the fact you go on your social media and it's he a bum. So you have to be so mentally strong. Like I told you before the show, you got to have the mind like the Joker.
Yep.
It has to be unorganized chaos. And you can't ever let people break you. And that's why we smile sometimes. And I know people be like, what is he smiling about when we get beat?
Yeah.
Because now you still got to play that mind game with yourself, not only the player, the mind game with yourself.
Well, since we're talking about DBs, Emmanuel Forbes, obviously a helmet-to-helmet hit, but I feel like the NFL referees, just me personally, they're very arbitrary in how they dole out these punishments. I did not feel like he should have been ejected from the game.
NFL.
Come on.
First of all, you take away K.J. Henry, first sack in college football in his career because he's too physical. Then you literally kick out the gingerbread man. You kicked out the 170 pounds maybe.
Soaking wet.
If he hitting too hard, who can hit? Jinx, who can hit?
Right.
This is a league that Fred Smoot can get disqualified from, and I was a tackler. not a hitter. I'm going to get you on the ground. Now, some of them, I'm really vicious. I'm finna run through this guy. Then I hit the guy, like, oh, he too thick. Yeah. So at the end of the day, to hit it, listen, I'm all about intentions. You can read intentions.
Yes.
This wasn't violent intentions. This was, I read the play. I got here at the nick of time. I couldn't pick it out, so I'm finna dislodge him from the ball. 15-yard penalty, fine. For New York to sit back there. Where was New York a week ago? Right. When the KJ Henry thing happened. New York, first of all, if you ain't going to come back with concrete calls, stay out of it. Right? And I think this also, at the end of the day, when it comes to referees, I think if a referee get 30% of his calls in the game wrong, I want 30% of your check. I'm just telling you how I feel. The only way to hold people accountable is to make them lose something. If they don't play at their peak performance. At the end of the day, if a referee get 50% of his calls right, 50% of his check. At the end of the day, send the rest of his check to the referee that got 100% of his calls right. So at the end of the day, I just think you have to hold them accountable, because if you don't, they're going to call it like robots. They told us to do it. Anytime it's helmet to helmet, we got to call it. No, it's a human aspect to this.
Let me ask you this, because I feel like a lot of this is driven by the NFL's ego as opposed to individual performance. Now, I don't know what the grading system is, but how many bad officials have you seen over time? It's not like they get rid of officials on a regular basis. You see the same dudes again and again and again. And you would think the NFL would say, look, we're trying to uphold a certain standard here, so if you're not getting it done, you're out. And you don't see that happening.
Well, first of all, how many good officials is it? If your last name ain't Hercules, we don't know who you are. Like, I don't know good ones. Maybe the playoff referees, when they shrink it down and keep the best staffs. But I'm sorry, it's too much on the line for the teams, for players' jobs, for GM jobs, for betting, for casinos. It's too much on the line now for these things to be in a gray area. It's too much in the line for these things to be so highly incorrect. If I'm sitting there with my grandma and she like, ooh, they soft. You know the NFL then got soft. Muffin soft. So at the end of the day, I can't say what they should do. Besides, I think if you hold people accountable, they'll be more acute to keeping that flag in their pocket than they would be if they wasn't losing money, Jinx. That's just the way the scale. I always think the scale need to weigh out. The scale's adjusted. Yeah. But if you got the NFL backing up every call you make and you're going to give us these lame Monday excuses about why you did it, I don't care. And then we don't care about your apology. Oh, yeah, it was the wrong call. No, get it right that day. That day. Simply make refereeing a career. Just like playing cornerback is a career.
They got the money. The money is there.
It's there. Pay the referees. Make sure they don't work no other jobs so no other temptation comes to do anything else. Pay them enough, but also hold them accountable by fining them. Yeah. And paying them by a grade scale. Yeah. See how many broke referees we have in the league right now.
Because a referee will be like, I had a bad game, but, the insurance business isn't what it used to be. I'm having a tough week.
It's just like calling your insurance. Be like, you know what? I've been paying y'all for 10 years. I finally had a fender bender. No bill. We can't pay you. Come on, dude. I've been paying you for 10 years. And that's what it is. It's the thing you can't touch, see, or feel. It's not tangible.
When you look at Geno Smith, he's a great story, but he threw for a career high yesterday, yardage-wise. And it's because of these, and we've seen this before, sustained drives, these long drives down the field. How does this defense in its current form at least prevent as many of those?
When it comes to the playbook, you need to call the Ant-Man. You need to shrink it. You need to shrink the playbook and play fast. Okay. The one thing about great coordinators, if they feel like you can't do 50 plays, they say, you know what? Let's get dominant at 5. Yeah. Let's get dominant at 5 calls. 1 for first down, 2 for third down, 3 for fourth down. So on and so forth. And I think that's what they need to do with this team, because watching Seattle, we know they'll cover 3 teams. They go cover 3 off. They go cover 3 press. They miss it with man. It all looks the same. Everybody's in the same position. Allowing them to simplify and play fast. When you go play Seattle, you say to your offense, they're going to play cover 3. What are we going to do to adjust to them? When we play defense is whatever the offense do, we're going to adjust to them. We have no true identity. So I think to get a true identity, shrink the playbook. These are the plays we are very good at, and we're going to do it. And you got to force us out of it. And if you don't force us out of it, that means we got you and we bending you to our will right now.
Let's pay some bills and we're going to talk about the good things we saw yesterday. Hey, them bills.
Yep.
Let's start with Honda. Have you guys felt the power?
I have.
Oh, I know you have. The CRV Hybrid and Accord Hybrid, Honda's most electrifying vehicles yet. Find adventure one of Honda's rugged SUVs and trucks like the Pilot Trail Sport, Honda's most rugged SUV ever.
It is.
It really is. Experience the thrilling performance of the fun-to-drive Honda Civic with an available turbocharged engine.
Not for my kid.
Not for your kid.
Can't trust him with a turbo.
Your kid gets a V4.
Oh, yes. Squirrel on a treadmill.
Get power, performance, and ruggedness with Honda. Find the Honda that is perfect for you. See your local Honda dealer today. And RTS, I'm talking about Recycle Track Systems transforming the way commercial businesses and communities manage waste and recycling. They combine the power of artificial intelligence with premium customer service to optimize waste pickup schedules, ensuring timely, not just timely, and efficient collections to keep our neighborhoods cleaner and greener. Visit rts.com to learn more about how they can help your business waste or manage waste more responsibly. There we go.
Now, here go the thing about it. How long before our generation, because we are a special generation, Jinx, we are the generation where the technology bled with the humans. We went from not having a cell phone, using a pay phone and a house phone, to having a cell phone. We went to no internet, to internet. We are the bridge gap.
That's true.
How long before, when we say the word AI, we stop thinking about Allen Iverson? Because every time somebody say AI to me, I'd be like, you know what?
You mean Allen Iverson?
Yeah, what Bubble Chuck at? You know, like, what's going on? Like, and they be like, no, I'm talking artificial
It's
intelligence.
coming because it's been a while now.
But we also are the generation, I guess we generation, what, X?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gen X, that we really got into sci-fi. So
Yes.
we are really mentally in the back of our head. When we hear AI, we think about Terminator. We think about Skynet.
I'm thinking about a dude peeling his skin off.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, he's a robot.
Listen, when you say AI to us, it means something different than to my kids.
Oh, yeah.
I say AI to them. They like, oh, yeah, make my job easier.
Like,
Like,
I just wrote a cover letter. You did? I just watched Allen Iverson with a wicked crossover.
But, listen, two different things. And I don't know. I think people are afraid of the things they can't envision. And AI is one of those things where if we can't think of it, maybe somebody else can.
You're not wrong, my friend. That's where we're headed.
Are you afraid?
A little bit. I
Afraid.
watched an interview with an expert, and he was saying how eventually AI will become self-aware. Not yet, but it's heading in that direction, and then we're in trouble.
He's the same guy that created it. Like, see, here go the thing about it. He's Oppenheimer. Like, he's sitting there telling us, all right, check this out, dude.
He's like, just wait. Just wait.
And then, yeah, listen, at the end of the day, long as we got the ability to pull the plug, see, that's why I watch Loki, and I'm glad I do, because the way to stop mixed minutes, you just had to unplug it, and that was the key. That's why I watch great shows.
You do watch great shows.
Yes.
The Washington Offense.
Yes.
Sam Howell.
It's a great show.
It is a great show. And Sam Howell, can we put to bed the idea that this guy may or may not, he's the guy.
First of all,
he's the guy.
It's not a lot of quarterbacks on this planet. If you can get one to even play at a top 15 level, you have one. I'm not sitting here saying he Tom Brady. I'm not sitting here saying he ever going to be Aaron Rodgers. But I can tell you what he ain't, and that's a scrub.
Not at all.
He's a baller to the point later on I'll get into some of my nicknames because I think all ballers.
We're going to talk about those.
All ballers get nicknames, and you can't give yourself that nickname. Air Jordan didn't name himself Air Jordan. It just happened. He jumped in the air, and he didn't come down for like 3 days. And we were like, yeah.
That's true.
Air Jordan. That's his name. So all greatness comes with slinging Sammy Bar. It just comes.
Yeah.
It happens.
Rolls off the tongue.
You cannot, the king, LeBron, the king. All right, LeBron James, like the name is given to you, but you have to earn it. And I think Samuel Howell with his offense. And I must say this, B-Rob's game as a wide receiver yesterday, second highest receiving yards since Chris Thompson, I think in 2017. B-Rob looked like a monster. He is a DB's worst nightmare.
He runs angry, which
he
I
runs
love.
Angry with size, strength, and speed. If you notice, DBs just fall off him. Like, we have to figure out a way to even get him the ball more. Like, I'm one of those guys, like when some guys, once they in their bag, run them till they out of their bag.
Yeah.
Like find a way. And I like the way they find to get him the ball through the air. And the 2 plays on the sideline.
It was the same play.
Same play. Listen, that's one thing about the NFL. If it worked once, it'll work twice, Jinx. It will.
You know what I loved what I loved so much about that first play? It was Jamal Adams was coming right at Sam.
Yeah.
And there was just this little shoulder move just to give himself enough time to get that pass out. So it's a subtle thing like that, but little things like that separate you from being pretty good to great in the NFL.
Well, this manipulation of the pocket, that manipulation of me knowing, and I was saying it all last week, he needs to find 33, find Adams, and that'll tell you where the opening is. Like anytime Adams, the strong safety, is close to the line of scrimmage, he is coming. If he's coming, he's leaving the gap.
Yeah.
Right? The key is, can I get it to where he just vacated from? And I thought that was very smart of him. And that's showing me that him and Coach B enemy, they are not in there just game planning. They are understanding how people are trying to attack him. And I think that's the smartest thing they could ever do, because now he's learning the weakness of every coverage.
Yeah.
Every coverage got a weakness. All right, well, the one thing about blitzing is where you blitz, it's going to be a big old hole right there. Most people try to throw away from the blitz when they should be throwing into the blitz. And that's what Sam is learning. So I am enjoying watching the maturation of Sam week in and week out, him turn the page. And that's what's making it hard for DBs, because they saying, all right, this is where he was last week when I was watching him, but when I had to play him, he wasn't making the same mistakes anymore. Like, so that's scary. I would listen to any coach. Pete Carroll talk about Sam. He's like, these are defensive masterminds. All right, Coach Belichick talk about Sam. He's like, hey, check this out. All right, them the people you want to gain the respect from.
Yes.
You don't care what the people on the internet are saying. You don't care what, even the fan base. You don't care what they're saying. When you get the respect of a Pete Carroll and a Bill Belichick, you have something. And that's what we have to say. I am not trying to anoint him king of the North. All I'm trying to say is, we got something. We need to preserve it.
And this is a guy who's constantly under pressure.
Yeah.
We know that. When he threw that touchdown pass to Antonio Gibson, he had a dude right in his face, got the ball there. And then at the end, when he had a clean pocket and a long pocket from which to throw, that pass to Diami was world-class.
And that was all touch.
Yes.
The ball, literally, I'm talking about an inch over the DB's hands, and then it dropped.
Right.
Like, that's just dropping it in the bucket right there. That's the passes we say as a defensive back, other people get paid too. Quarterbacks, man, they are the key to this thing, and everybody can't make that throw to Diami. Everybody can't make that throw to Antonio Gibson. So that's why I tell people, man, I always hear, but what? Everybody got flaws. Is he working through his flaws? Sure he is. Look like it to me. So what happens when he don't have those flaws no more? All right? I don't care when the people are drafted at. Most, and this is what I like to report to people, most quarterbacks taken in the top 10, 65% of them fail.
I believe
65, hey, just because they was good in college, next year we're going to see Caleb Williams taken, Drake May taken, maybe Shedeur comes out. I doubt it. He might stay
Michael Penix coming out,
Michael Penix Jr. coming out. And here go the bad part about it. Out of 5 of the top 5 quarterbacks, 1.5 will be in the league in 6 years.
That's right.
That's just the truth, though.
Yes.
So that tells you how hard it is to find them. So when you find that diamond in the rough in the 5th round, like Dak Prescott, Sam Howell, you got something. Because they dropped for a reason, but they also cured them ailments. They found a way to get better at the stuff they was weak at. And this make them better than a Zach Wilson, a guy that came in and thought he had everything figured out. He stinks. Think about this. Sam Stroud, Desmond Ridder, couple more quarterbacks taken before him. Right now, Sam is the best quarterback out of his draft.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not even a question in our contest.
And before we go to, we're going to delve into some nicknames for Sam. We're going to talk about some fans as well. But I did want to give some credit to EB because I thought that early on they did a nice job getting the backs involved. Kind of went away from that. And then Bieniemy realized, you know what, we had a lot of success early on making sure B-Rob is involved. Antonio Gibson. And once he went back to those guys, that offense opened up again.
He does a good job of letting the game flow come to him.
Yeah.
And everybody be like, run the ball, run. No, sometimes it's just not there. All right, sometimes we got to pass to open up the run, a run open up the pass. He does a good game flow situational thing where he says, you know what? We got him on the ropes. Let's keep throwing the ball. Then I sneak in a run here. I sneak in a run there. So now when you get to the fourth quarter, they're like, oh, they're a throwing team. Then we pound them for 6 times straight. And they like, what's going on? Keeping them off balance. So I like that. I'm not one of these people that like, yeah, we need to run the ball 30 times, pass the ball 30 times. No, that ain't the way football is played. Like, everybody got, like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a game plan until they get hit in the mouth.
That's right.
And guess what? Seattle hit you in the mouth, and now you had to go do something else. I like that. I respect that. And that's a coach setting you up for success. Can't beat that.
Let's play some Bills, and then we're going to talk about nicknames and a bunch of other stuff.
You know, that's when it get fun.
Yeah, that's when it gets fun. I'm tired of talking about the loss.
Were we too serious for like the first half of this?
I feel like we got really into the weeds.
I thought we were working for a network because we ain't got Skip up here. We like, you know.
Fred, let's talk about the rest of the season and how this might play.
Sleepless in Seattle as we report from the home of Starbucks. And did I tell you about me getting hit in the face with a fish before we pay these bills?
This weekend?
No. All right. The one thing about it is when we go on the road to play these games, we used to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
At the time we at, see what the city about. I go to Seattle one year. We go out. We eat at the Needle, which was a great experience. Tall, great restaurant. Most definitely go there. We leave it, and I'm like, yeah, let's go to the market. Everybody always talk about the fish market. So we go to the fish market, and these guys around there just, ahoy! They throwing like,
it's crazy.
50-pound mackerels. They just throwing fish. So I'm like, you know what? Man, I'm a top-of-the-line athlete. Throw me one of them fish over here. So he throws it over there just literally. Now I'm in the meeting with a black eye smelling like fish. Like, listen. So it wasn't the best time for me, but I enjoy it, and I always soak up the culture of whatever city we're going in. You should go catch some fish at the market.
I have done that.
Did you?
I covered the Redskins back in the day. The 2 times you guys played Seattle, I was there.
That's when I got hit.
Yeah. Oh, I went out there, and they were like, because I would always do like the flavor of the game kind of stuff before right? So I did the whole thing with down there, caught fish, went to Starbucks, the whole thing. But what's crazy is, so I did this story, one of the best stories I've ever done. Yeah. Because they know when you go down to Pike Place Market, they get it, right? Right. There was a guy, just some chill dude, just sitting there playing his guitar.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm going to sing a song with this guy.
Yeah.
So I sang a random song with me, and he started joining me at the end. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
So I do this story, tons of fish in it. I'm getting all these texts. My phone's blowing up like, oh, my God, great story, hilarious. My boss calls.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, that was a great story today, but I think there was one too many fish in it. One too many fish. I was like, is this a real critique? And I was like, sorry, boss, next time one less fish.
I won't be at a fish market?
Yes.
All right, my fault. What he thought, it's cargo, you need snails, you need to throw in a couple more snails in there or something. I don't know, man. I'm going to let you handle that. Get Loud Podcast is brought to you by Bet365, the official betting partners of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip with parlays. Access thousands with the live streaming. Place your bet before the match or during the game. It's up to you. Download Bet365 app today and join 80 million members worldwide. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Way to pay those bills. Ooh. NWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life don't escape us. We dream of a place anywhere in the world, and in the blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. All you need to decide is where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
That's all you need, a cup of good Joseph. It'll do it.
Couple Joseph
to
get it done.
Joseph, man. I don't know why I call it the Joseph. Well, really, because, see, Coach Gibbs is my, favorite coach all the time.
You love Coach Gibbs.
And
as you should.
And I call him the Joseph. That's what I call him.
Yeah.
If your name start with the, you have made it to a point in life.
Yes.
That only a few people get to this.
That's rarefied air right there.
You know what I'm saying? So the Joseph is a different thing.
Here's a nickname.
Yeah.
We need a nickname. You can say Sling and Sammy Howell, but that's been done. All right?
I think it's enduring.
It's enduring, and it is endearing, and also it has a history here, so I get it.
Because I kind of mocked prime time, because I kind of based my whole career off of him, high school, college, everything. Yep. So I was giving him, I kind of mocked it. It was like, yeah, I'm Showtime. He was behind time, I'm Showtime. So it's like when you look up somebody, it's kind of endearing.
Yes.
By being like Vince Carter. They was like,
it's a compliment.
Air Canada. They're kind of mocking Michael Jordan, but so mockery is flattery.
But do you have? I feel like you have been in the lab.
I have.
I know you have.
And you know, I have given out over my 10-year career. I probably gave football players on the team. I probably nicknamed 75% of every team I played on.
You know what? That I actually believe all of that.
Yeah, like Lorenzo Alexander, I gave him a one-man game.
Oh, did you get that? Was a great nickname.
Rock came with a nickname, and I gave him another one. Call him Rock Gotti. All right, so I have like really like give people nicknames.
Yeah,
I think it's important. It's an important thing, and I think it brings you tighter to life. And I think once you make it to a level of a baller, the world gives you a nickname like Durantula. Slim Reaper.
Oh, Slim Reaper's a good one too.
The King, LeBron James, the Chef, Steph Curry. When you reach greatness, you have to A-Rod. They just took A-Rod. All right, they just took it and they ran with it. The GOAT, Tom Brady. All right, so every great player usually end up with a nickname. Walter Payton, Sweetness.
Oh, so good.
Megatron, I thought was one of the most.
Definitely,
he was one of the biggest human beings I have ever seen in my life.
And a receiver
at that, the Sheriff, Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that's another good one. You're dropping them all right now, man.
I'm just saying, great players come with great names. That's why I think nicknames are very important in sports. And until you get one, you haven't made it to greatness.
Well, you have your opportunity right here. Sam Howell needs a nickname. Now, let's just get out of the way the one that will not work. Sammy Whammy is not. Don't ever suggest that ever.
I'm going to take it that somebody, child said it.
It had to be.
I'm going to call him Sammy Whammy. I don't think grown people said, you know what? That's my whammy. I'm going to call him Sammy Whammy. No, nobody grown came up with that.
I couldn't look at another grown person and say, it's my guy Sammy Whammy. I'd be like,
imagine
I'm an idiot.
That on the back of a jersey. Now, the one that he did say he liked that he heard was Sam I Am.
Okay.
Mr. Green Eggs and Ham himself. Yeah. Why not? And I think slinging Sammy Howell, I think it works, but you say it's Biden.
I mean, it works. It's just, we've heard it before. So listen, if everybody calls him Slinging Sammy Howell, I'm good with it. Yeah. I'm just saying, is there another one besides that one? Because that's the go-to, I feel like, right now.
Before he was anointed, I gave him a nickname because I believed. I had saw him practice so much. And you know I'm a big Game of Thrones guy. That's just who I am. So I called him the young Airwolf. Like the young wolf. Rob Stark is what I called him.
Didn't you have a longer nickname?
Well, I do. And that name is Sam Snow. You know I'm a big Game of Thrones.
I know you are.
That's my
Read all the books?
So when I think of Sam, I think of underdog. The biggest underdog character ever was Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Was Jon Snow, and he the heart and soul of it. All right? For him to be reborn, half Targaryen, you know what I'm saying? This means half wolf, half dragon. All right? And guess what? That's why I love it. Now I got the Kingslayer, because he got close to slaying everybody. Jalen Hurts slayed Dak last year.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if you want somebody taken down, bring in the Kingslayer.
Kingslayer is a good one.
The Kingslayer's good. Then we got, I called him the Young Wolf already before. We got Slim and Sammy. All right. Just the plain old Airwolf. What you think about that?
Just Airwolf?
Just the Airwolf, because it's the last name. See, I can't wait to get to
I know you remember Airwolf from back in the day.
I do.
I loved Airwolf.
I do. That's what I'm telling you. So I would love to get to the stadium and just sit and enjoy a game. And every time you complete a pass, right, people just howl. Every time you complete a pass. Like people with just wolf mask on.
Yeah.
And every time he complete a pass, they just howl. And see, that's where the Game of Thrones come back in, right? Because there ain't nothing scarier than a dire wolf. So I don't know. If you had a chance to give him a nickname, anything.
I don't know. I keep going back to Sling and Sammy because it's so easy to say and there's a history there. So, again, I don't mind it, but I'm trying to come up with something.
Original.
I'm just trying to come up with something because I cannot hear Howell drops back, and that is a touchdown to De'Ami Brown, and Sammy Whammy does it again.
Dropped it, the biscuit in the basket. Sammy does it.
It can't be that.
Well, when we have these old names, because I'm a person with an old name, Frederick. I think the fourth person ever created in the world was named Frederick. Right? He got the name Samuel. So,
Oh, you could do Samuel.
Yeah.
Something with Samuel.
I don't think you can, because just like I had to drop the Rick off my name and not be Frederick until now. Now I'm Frederick Smoot.
Yeah.
I used to be Fred Smoot.
And plus, we don't know if I bet Sam doesn't like Samuel.
No, I never liked Frederick.
Yeah, that's what he has to just like Sam.
He likes Sam because it's kind of like straight to the point.
Yeah.
Just there. Everybody knows Sam.
Yeah.
Right? So it's original and it's normal. It's the Howell that's different.
The Cassander.
And I think, who? No, you can't do that.
That's terrible.
No, it was. What about the Howlinator? Stinks.
That's what we get for coming up with these on the fly. I'm like, I should have said that one.
Yeah, just Howl and Howl, LLC.
Howl, and Howl. LLC.
Where you going? I was in a car accident the other day. I think I'm going to Howl and Howl to try to get this done. I can dig it. But like I said, I want that one time. And I don't know if we need to do it for Halloween. Maybe just a Game of Thrones theme at FedEx. Where everybody wear the wolf mask. I just think he done made it to that point where I'm ready to say that's my dude.
I am Sam Howell. When I'm not throwing touchdowns and winning games, I'm winning your case in the courtroom. Howell, LLC.
Hit by 18-wheeler? Howl one time, and I'm right there.
Okay, speaking of nicknames, you got to tell me this story. I got to make sure I get this right. You have to tell me the story of Skippy the cat.
Oh, my God.
Please.
All right, this started years ago. That's how most good stories start.
Yeah, I have to hear this.
All right, I do the post-game show.
Yep.
Infamous post-game show. Me and Scott Jackson. I love Jack, the five-head of sports. That's
He's great.
my guy. The thing about it is we didn't have this caller. Win, lose, or draw. He calls in. His name is Bill, which I don't know if that's his real name. I'm still investigating.
Okay.
But Bill calls on the show. He talks in a very creepy voice all the time, and we conversate with him.
Okay.
Then he puts his cat on the phone. Yeah, you heard me right. He got a cat named Skippy that talks.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So Bill is talking as Skippy the cat?
I don't know if the cat talking. It's like it's too far for me right now. All I know.
I bet this guy drives a really shitty-looking van.
Yeah, no, yes, he does. Scooby-Doo. We know who did it. It was Bill. Most definitely, and the cat talks. And in our conversation after this last Seattle game, he called in and said the cat then started seeing ghosts. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay.
And Skippy is part of the animal kingdom, and they feel in a different wavelength.
Okay.
So I said, okay, Bill, I got you on that one.
Okay. Animals are like that. I'll buy that.
Animals will tell you when it's finna get cold. They'll tell you when danger
They know when you're upset.
They know when they can feel emotion.
Mm-hmm.
A part of me don't think Skippy exists.
Oh.
I think Skippy is a figment of this dude's imagination.
Oh, I like this theory.
No. I think this dude, I got him on my watch list. I'm watching for him. Because you can't be part of his family. And somebody in the family got to be, you know what? Bill is calling shows again.
He's on two lists, yours and the Loudoun County Police Department.
Thank you. Because this dude right here just takes it to, and we entertain him every time.
Yeah.
Because if we stop being his outlet, then, what could happen? So I enjoy my conversations with him. I try to overlook it when he starts to talk in his cat voice because, like I told him, I didn't know a cat had a voice. Now, I grew up on Heathcliff. You remember the Cadillac Cats?
Oh, Heathcliff, yeah.
The Cadillac Cats with Riarview and all the rest of them. You probably couldn't name none of them. Riarview, Sonia, I forgot the other
I cannot
people.
believe you're naming the entire cast of Heathcliff.
Oh, listen, the Cadillac Cats, that was one of my favorites.
No, I know Heathcliff.
They kicked it in, I forgot the big fat cat name, but they kicked it in the junkyard all the time. And so every time he calls, my mind just goes to Heathcliff. Them the only cats I knew that ever talked. Either that or Garfield. So I have to get into character with this guy. But he's a very strange guy, Jinx.
Man, I got to think about that.
And he cheers for the team.
Well, I'll give him that.
So,
before he gets arrested, I'll give him that.
We're going to give him that, but I'm most definitely going to bring him commissary.
Since we're talking about fans, we got to shout out Quinn. Our guy Quinn.
Yes, for shouting us out. Thank you for enjoying the show with me and Jinx, because we don't take this very seriously. Like, we're not very, acute to this situation, but thank you for thinking that we are entertaining, especially when we're talking about stuff like Heathcliff and Cadillac Cats.
He met Anna. Anna, were you in Seattle?
Yeah.
You're in Seattle? She talked to Quinn. Anna's our producer, does an awesome job on the show. She talked to Quinn. He said, I like listening to Jinx and Smoot, so we appreciate you, Quinn. Thank you for that.
Now, and that's your example of a good fan. Mm-hmm. That's your example of somebody that rides through the thick and thin. I ain't going nowhere. Might not be good right now, but I'm going to stick with it. But you brought up something. Bad fans.
Oh,
bad
I was
fans.
just about to ask you about this.
You brought up bad fans, Jinx.
You have a particular story.
So many stories.
So many stories. You can tell whichever one you want. I know you have a ton, but for one of your worst fan stories ever, you got to tell this one, Smoot.
All right. I want y'all to close your eyes, and I want to take you to 2006, Minnesota, around October, Thanksgiving. It get a little crispy cold up there. Hasn't started to snow yet, but the season has started to snowball. All right, and Fred is focused, because we understand it. No matter what team-wise, we still got to be independent contractors. All right, and I have been doing very good up there. Still haven't had that bad game yet. Not the one to make fans hate you. But then a trip happened to Carolina, and the game didn't turn out too well. And me and Steve Smith had one of my worst days of all time. Sickening. So I'm sick. So my shower is bad in Carolina. Mm-hmm. Walk sadly to the bus, get on the plane. Get home. As I'm driving up to my front yard, Jinx, I noticed these white lines drew in my front yard. Okay. So me being the guy I am, I don't think nothing crazy at first. But then I get out of my pickup truck and I look to the left in my front yard, and it's the biggest gluteus maximus ever drew on grass. This drew, listen, this ain't pancake. This is the biggest butt tox drew in my front yard.
Like spray painted?
Spray painted in white on green grass.
Oh, my God. And I bet you had a nice yard, too.
Oh, great. I like to get it cut like a football field so you can see the lines in it, all of that. So when I get out the truck, I'm looking and I know that ain't no butt in my front yard. Like, come on, man. This ain't what people usually had to go through. So in between my game at 1 o'clock on the East Coast, and by the time I make it back to my yard at 6:30, somebody said, you know what? We finna go draw a butt in Fred Smoot front yard because he stink. All right? That's the only thing I can think the signal was. You stink. You need to be out of here.
You played like butt.
Listen to me. So I'm sitting in my front yard, and because I'm an idiot, I'm literally crying. Like, I'm laughing. Other people would have got mad. Yeah. You know me. I got a sense of humor. And I'm like, man, this is one of the baddest days I ever had in sports. And I come home, and I got everything I deserved. Like, I had a buttocks drew in my front yard, and they just showed me, you know what, son? You need to wake up. You need to wake up. You need to play better. The fans have spoke. Somebody would take it that far. And then imagine the phone call to my landscape dude.
Yeah.
Oh. So I called him the next day and be like, you know what, dog? I need you to come out early this week. Whoa, what's wrong? I got a butt drew in the front yard. No, what you mean? No, I'm dead serious. So he had to come and literally weed eat and cut the butt out the front.
Punch the spray paint butt out of your front yard.
Out my front yard. Like I said, if I was a mean dude, I'd have probably called the police, got them to investigate the butt. Find out who's vandalizing. Did anybody else get butts in their front yard? Like.
You know what's crazy about this is that if they had taken it to an extreme and been like F you or something terrible like that, I'd have been like, you know what? That's you're way crossing the line. And he had to be like, just a big butt, huh?
Yeah,
I kind of,
I
kind of appreciate it, actually.
And I'm wondering who is that dude, because it had to be two. This ain't no one.
No, that's a two-person job.
That's a two-person job. Who is the dudes that going around bragging, talking about, yeah, man, I remember when we were young.
Remember that time we went to Fred Smoot's?
Yeah.
We spray painted that butt in his yard. How many times do you think that guy's told that story?
I know they told it a million times. Hey, please, if you are those guys, could you reach out to me, 1-800? We need you. We want to talk about the fact that and I want to know, am I the only person you did this to? I want to know, because I refuse to believe they singled out me. And just because I got a good sense of humor, I laughed, and I was like, you know what? My spirit was so down when I made it home, that butt just saved me. Like, I never thought I would be saved by it.
Saved by the butt.
EL style. At the end of the day, I mean, EU style. But at the end of the day, it really, like, I was like, I was so sad before I got home. And it allowed me to have the biggest glass of wine, and I just sit out in the front yard.
Looked at that butt.
And wonder, did I play that bad that I deserved it to be in my front yard? And I was like, yeah, I did. Cheers. And guys, you changed my life, because 3 games after that, I came back to Washington. I was ran out of Minnesota by a butt.
They knew what was coming. I'm so glad you told that story. We're going to pay some bills, and speaking of butt, we're going to talk about a bad team, as in the New York Giants. Feel the power of the CRV Hybrid and Accord Hybrid, Honda's most electrifying vehicles yet. Find adventure in one of Honda's rugged SUVs and trucks like the Pilot Trail Sport, Honda's most rugged SUV ever. Or experience the thrilling performance of the fun-to-drive Honda Civic. With an available turbocharged engine, get power, performance, and ruggedness with Honda. Find the Honda that is perfect for you. Doesn't matter how big your butt is, it will fit in a Honda.
It will, and if you pull up in your front yard and there's one in there, the Honda will let the window down and let you too.
See your local Honda dealer today. Finally, breaking news for Commanders fans, and you know it. It is SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. The deal is finalized, and SeatGeek is the newest member of our family. If you haven't heard the name yet, get used to it, because we're going to keep telling you about it. Whether you're buying tickets, selling tickets to Commanders games, or any other live event in the DMV, SeatGeek is the place to do it, standing or sitting on your butt. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders, so Commanders fans can fan.
I am crying.
Oh, my God.
Listen to me.
That's an incredible
I
story.
cried that day. Like, and that's how I knew then. I was like, you son, you an idiot. Like, that's when I knew I would put on this earth to do something different. Because, like I say, most people, let me ask you. Mm-hmm. Jinx make it home. Finds that in his front
I
yard.
would be crushed.
Like, tell me where you at mentally.
Let me tell you, here's the thing. When people come after me, like, and it's a balance, right? If you're paying me all this money, then I'm like, this comes with the territory. And being on TV, being on radio, that does come with the territory.
They attack you.
They all the time. But I'm not making out like a bandit.
Yeah.
I'm paying my bills month to month like everyone else. And so honestly, I'm a very sensitive person. Mm-hmm. So when I see stuff like that just like cuts me.
Sensitivity.
Ralph Tresvant. A man like him. So I'm just like, man. Every now and then you'll, like, sometimes people just make up something and just like throw it at you. I'm like, all right, well,
So take us there as you pull up in your front yard and realize what's
if
there.
I saw a butt, I'd be like, I can't afford to get I just got this mowed last week.
So you more about the grass than the message.
Well, and the message would bother me. I'm like, someone doesn't like me enough.
Yeah.
Like, you're not paying to see me.
Yeah.
Right? If you turn me on, great. If you don't, you can go elsewhere.
But they took their time.
You hate me so much, you took time out of your day to go
buy the spray paint.
Yeah, you spent money because you dislike me so much.
And then you talk to your partner about, what are we drawing?
Right. And I got a buttocks in my front yard. I'd ask my girl, I'd be like, hey, was the show that bad today? She's like, no, you didn't sound like butt today. That's one thing
about your mom and your girlfriend. They'll lie to you.
They will. And sometimes you need
preserve
it.
Your
you
feelings.
need it.
No,
yes.
But that's why I play cornerback. No lies. Like, tell it to me raw. Like, my mom was always like that. I'll never forget when I was in high school. I'm killing in a game. Got like 150-yard receiving. I already got a pick. It's third quarter. Scored like 20-something to 20. Like, we're tied. Mm-hmm. I get hit in the hip, got a nice little hip pointer. My head coach, like, yeah, he could play.
Okay.
But don't look like he want to get back in. So get what he do? Turn around, wave to my mama.
Oh, what?
Call her to the field.
No.
I'm on the sideline. My mama like, what's wrong with you? I done took one to the hip point. I tell you this, if you keep playing like this, we're going to be broke the rest of our life. So you better. Oh, so if you don't get your butt up, and she didn't use the word butt, you don't get your butt up and get back in this game, I know something. She said, I'll be in the stands waiting on your performance. By the time she hit the stands, I'm back out there. That's why she always tell you, your body a punk. Your mind.
Hey, you know what? She was right. Look at you now.
Listen, if I ain't get back in there right, then get on back in there. Hey, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Hey, listen, your body is a coward. You put the limitations on your body. Mm-hmm. I try to get that to my boys, but my boys done grew up in the suburbs, Jinx.
Oh, it's different.
And you can't buy toughness from Walmart. I went in the section, and there was none in there. All right? That's all I'm going to say.
You know who could use some encouragement right now? Tommy DeVito, quarterback for the New York Giants. Tommy DeVito is the first quarterback in Giants history outside of the strike year in '87.
Yeah.
Undrafted.
You mean regular people off the street playing football?
Regular people off the street. The first undrafted quarterback to start for the Giants outside of that year.
Yeah.
This guy is as Italian as it gets.
And he stinks.
All
right, listen to me. For the people out there that watch local.
He needs a butt in the front yard.
Yeah. He does. But it's his mom's front yard, so we can't do it.
That's true.
All right. The thing about him, he's from Jersey, so he lives like 10 minutes away from the stadium. Grew up watching him.
We got to read this quote.
He lives at home. All right. Read the quote.
This is Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Who, as Fred was just talking about, lives with his parents. Quote, I don't have to worry about laundry, what I'm eating for dinner, chicken cutlets, and all that is waiting for me when I get there. My mom still makes my bed. Everything is handled for me. He is not ready for the NFL.
Hey, first of all, that's why I give him the nickname. If you watch Loki, you know what I'm talking about. His name is He Who Remains. He who remains at home. All right, that's who he is. All right, at the end of the day, if we don't beat Danny DeVito, I mean Tommy.
And also Danny DeVito. If Danny DeVito suits up and we don't beat him, it's over.
Guarantee they're cousins. Guarantee that they're cousins.
They're about third cousins.
They've got to be.
Has to
be. Come on. He got whole half of New York like really rocking right now. They don't even care that he stinks. He is representation.
Yes.
All right, New York at its finest. He who remains is. He who remains at home with his parents. If we don't beat DeVito.
Cutlet. I'm going to call him Cutlet.
Jimmy Cutlet.
If we don't beat old Tommy Cutlet.
Hey, listen. I know something. This dude, he stinks so bad that it got me thinking that New York said, you know what? Let's just go get Caleb Williams. Like,
they might be.
No, because guess what? At some point, you could call up a Carson Wentz. Somebody that has been through the windshield wiper.
You get Cam. You give it. Yeah.
You can get somebody that can throw the football in the National Football League. They just said, forget it. Let DeVito handle it.
Yeah.
Let DeVito handle it. And guess what? He's doing everything that they thought he would, which is absolutely nothing. And guess who? An ailing team like us. The best cure you can get when you get sick is not penicillin. This is a shot of DeVito. We need a shot of DeVito. Because I watched the last two teams get a shot of DeVito. And, boy, Dallas took him down.
It was like just getting steroids. It's like giving the Cowboys defense steroids.
Listen, everybody. I'm sick. Y'all got DeVito? I need some. We need DeVito in our life right now. He who remains, I'll see you Sunday. All right? I can't wait to see him.
Besides putting pressure on Tommy Cutlet, Tommy DeVito, and making this guy make mistakes, which he will, what do you want to see more than anything to make sure we get a dub in a game that this team should win?
It's simple. Make DeVito look like an actor. Make DeVito look like DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
If DeVito looks like an NFL quarterback, I would be ashamed. Make him look like who he is. No, if I told you we were walking down a dark alley, and I was like, let's run. DeVito coming. Would you run? I'd be like, no. Kick DeVito's. I don't care about a DeVito. What are you talking about? If we don't make DeVito look like Devito. This has nothing to do with the young Airwolf. This has nothing to do with the offense. I ain't bringing up the offense.
All right.
Defense, win the game. And Devito has over 100-yard passing. Shame on you. If Saquon has over 50-yard rushing, shame on you. They only got one person.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley.
That's it.
Saquon Barkley. All I'm saying is, team, if it's ever a get well game for defense, this going to be it. This is it. And you talking about winning your first divisional game.
Yeah.
You let Danny DeVito, if we walk out of there, I'm sorry, I keep calling him Danny DeVito because he ain't made a name for himself.
If we
in
let
sport.
Danny DeVito beat us.
Listen, all I keep thinking about is Jimmy John commercials.
Oh, yeah, because he's everywhere now. He's bouncing around.
I'm like, I just can't stop thinking about those commercials. And if they really want to capitalize on this, they'll do a commercial with him in it right now.
We're going to get it done this weekend.
Yeah.
Defense has to do its job. I believe it will. That's my guy who always does his job, Fred Smoot. I'm Jinx. Been a good one, man.
Keep that spray paint out your yard.